Environmental regulators are working on 2 local sites that may pose serious threats to public health and safety.
Health officials have started a program to wipe out rabies infections in local wildlife, and local spelunkers will get a chance to do some cave exploring later this month.
Beautiful early October weather across East Alabama for the foreseeable future. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
Coming up in sports, we'll talk volleyball action last night with the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and the new Alabama Sports Writers Association football poll is out. We'll get you all those details coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
Gadsden Mayor Craig Ford is criticizing the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for what he calls its lack of urgency in cleaning up more than 100,000 gallons of cyanide they've known about for years. Last month, EPA officials told the City Council about its plans to remove the chemical from the Tetrix Incorporated facility on Plainview Street. But city leaders say the EPA didn't show up for a community meeting they had set up for later that week. Mayor Ford said this morning that he had expected more action by now because the EPA has known about the issue for years. Tetrix was an electroplating and metal finishing shop founded in 1987. The 50,000 square foot operations building sits on more than 5 acres of property northwest of downtown Gadsden. It was cited for noncompliance by environmental regulators in 2012, 2014, and 2019. In 2021, the EPA determined that the company had issues of misidentification, mismanagement, storage, disposal, and treatment of solid and hazardous waste, and ordered the company to clean up the site. Ford says the company has not started that process, and he called on President Biden, the EPA, and Gadsden's congressional delegation to demand immediate action.
Meanwhile, in neighboring Attala, the EPA this week announced that it has reached a settlement with Giant Resource Recovery to resolve violations of federal and state laws governing the treatment and storage of hazardous waste. The company will also pay more than $250,000 in fines. GRR blends hazardous waste at its Attala facility for use as fuel in boilers and industrial furnaces. In August 2020, representatives of the EPA and the Alabama Department of Environmental Management inspected that operation and found several potential violations of air emissions requirements for hazardous waste tanks. As part of that settlement, GRR has agreed to spend at least $641,831 on new measures that will prevent recurrence of the alleged violations. GRR has also agreed to pay a civil penalty totaling $235,782. When we come back, there's a move on to try to get rabies out of the local raccoon population.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
Getting my car serviced is easier than ever with Buster Miles Automotive Group in Cleburne and Calhoun County. They pick up my car, service it, and deliver it back. Convenient, efficient, and top quality. Schedule your service today and see why Buster Miles Automotive Group is the smart choice.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
The Alabama Department of Public Health and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are spreading oral rabies vaccine packets throughout East Alabama this month. It's part of a decades-long program to reduce raccoon rabies and the associated public health risk from rabies exposures. Low-flying airplanes and helicopters are being used to drop baits in heavily wooded areas. Officials say they expect to drop more than 34,000 vaccine packets, which are square blocks made of fish meal and fish oil. The vaccine is contained inside of a plastic packet in the hollow center of the block. Raccoons are vaccinated by opening the packet with their teeth, which exposes their gums to the vaccine. Anyone who finds a bait is asked to leave it alone to allow wildlife to find it. If a bait is intact and out in the open, it can be tossed deeper into the woods or brush where a wild animal is more likely to find it. Dr. D.W. Jones, state public health veterinarian, says the packet drop is already reducing the risk of rabies exposures in Alabama by vaccinating raccoons.
When we come back, how to get into the bat cave without using the bat poles.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Barrett Body Shop has moved to its new location on Highway 431 in Alexandria. Barrett has been delivering top-notch collision repair in Calhoun County since 2000. Our skilled team restores your vehicle to pre-accident condition with a commitment to quality and safety. Choose Barrett Body Shop for honest, reliable service. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
The Georgia-Alabama Land Trust, which owns and operates the Weaver Cave Preserve, invites the public to its annual cave tour next Saturday. The program starts at 9 a.m. on October 12th and continues until 1 p.m. It will give residents a chance to explore the cave system and learn more about the cave's history and ecology. The cave is located at 1000 Cave Road, and guests are asked to be careful as they park in the area. The Weaver Cave is home to several species of bats, and it is normally closed to the public. Experts will be on hand to give tours and answer questions during next Saturday's event.
Well, Katie, we're in that time of year where we have the cool evenings, the cool mornings, and the warm days, and I understand you experienced that today.
Yeah, I had a really great opportunity to be out at the RMC Foundation Golf Tournament, doing lots of great things for our community. Started out pretty chilly, but thank goodness for layers, because it did heat up rather quickly.
Wonder if that'll be the same way the rest of the week.
Let's check with John Holder. Joins us now in the EAN Weather Center to tell us all about it. John?
Mike and Katie, we will indeed continue with some cool, pleasant mornings and some sunshiny and warm afternoons. The complete forecast for all of East Alabama is next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Temperatures continue to be a little bit above the average across East Alabama today. Plenty of sunshine, soaring up to 85 for the high. Our normal daytime high is 81. The low this morning, 60. Our normal low is actually in the upper 50s. Record high temperature, 99 degrees back 5 years ago, back in 2019. Our record low temperature, 36 degrees. That was 40 years ago, back in 1984. Sun setting on your Wednesday night. Look at that, all the way now at 6:26, and the sun rising tomorrow morning, not until 6:40. Weather on your street on this Wednesday night. Hey, we got some great weather coming to Chakawaka Park in Oxford. Partly cloudy skies. A beautiful evening for a walk around the lake down there at Chakawaka Park. 61 for the low tonight. Again, most of the evening hours we should be in the 60s and 70s for a nightly walk out at Chakawaka. Coming up tomorrow, another really summer-like day coming up across East Alabama. Sunny and warm on Sutton Bridge Road in Rainbow City in Etowah County, 83 for the high tomorrow. No chance of rain in the forecast. Going ahead and taking an early sneak peek at the weekend across East Alabama on Shady Grove Road in the city of Piedmont. It is going to be a beautiful weekend in Piedmont and all across East Alabama. Nice and sunny. Temperatures each day on Saturday and Sunday topping out in the low 80s with no chance of rain. I think you're going to like our 7-day forecast coming up. The only chance of rain we have coming up is on Friday. It's only a 20% chance of a shower. A few more clouds around, only 80 for the high, but look at that. Saturday and Sunday, 83 on Saturday, Sunday 81. Nighttime lows continuing to be in the low 60s. And we have a dry cold front that is going to come our way the early part of next week. That is going to drop temperatures into the 70s for highs. By Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we will be in the mid to upper 70s for highs, and nighttime lows will be down in the mid 50s all across East Alabama. Our first true taste of some fall weather coming to East Alabama. Let's look now at the precipitation. This kind of tells the story of what has happened in the last week across the United States. Out west, nothing. All of this in brown, they received no rainfall whatsoever, zero for most of the country. But then look here, this takes into account Hurricane Helene and the effects, and look at that, 8, 12, 16, even 20 inches of rainfall in parts of the southeast. And most of that, unfortunately, coming up here in the upstate of South Carolina, western North Carolina, also over there in eastern Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains. That's where we have had all those problems. But as you can see, as you work your way from the west coast to the east coast, the rain really picked up from zero out west to 8, 12, 20 inches of rainfall here in the southeast. Tells the impact of Helene from last week. I will be back here tomorrow morning with your Thursday Day at a Glance. And coming up next in sports, we're going to be talking about area teams that are ranked in the latest Alabama Sports Writers Association Prep Football Poll. Jordan Smith has the details right now in sports. Jordan?
Thanks, John. Week 6 of the Alabama Sports Writers Association football poll is out, and there's some East Alabama teams that have moved up. Starting in at Class 6A, Oxford staying at number 5. Gadsden City is moving up 1 to number 7, 4-1 on the year. In Class 5A, Central Clay in at number 3. Moody moves up 2 spots to number 6 for 3-2 on the year. Leeds falls to number 8 after a loss to Briarwood Christian last week. In Class 4A, Cherokee County remains at 3. Hoax Bluff stays at number 5. In Class 3A, Piedmont Bulldogs move up 1 spot to number 3 after the 5 Red Devils lost last week to Coosa Christian. Speaking of Coosa Christian, they move up from number 5 in Class 2A to number 3 this week. And in Wadley, and 1A I should say, Wadley stays in at number 1. Spring Garden up 1 spot from last week up to number 5. Big news coming out of Jack State. Athletic Director Greg Seitz has been appointed to the NCAA Division I Baseball Committee. The committee provides administration oversight for the Division I Baseball Championship, including the College World Series. The committee handles selecting, seeding, and bracketing the 64-team tournament field. Seitz was nominated for the committee by Conference USA. He has served as Jacksonville State's athletic director since 2015. During his time with the Gamecocks, JSU transitioned from the Ohio Valley Conference to the ASUN Conference, and then later joining Conference USA in 2023. The Gamecocks football program moved up to the highest level of college football. Seitz has also been a member of the NCAA Men's Final Four Media Coordination Team for the past 13 years. The Jacksonville Golden Eagles took care of business on the court last night by sweeping Lincoln. The Golden Eagles defeated Lincoln 25-14, 25-11, and 25-22 in Class 5A Area 11 play. The win last night gave Jacksonville the right to host the Area 11 tournament in a few weeks. Sidney Serrano had 1 ace, 2 kills, 24 assists, and 1 block and 1 dig last night. Cameron Stone led the Golden Eagles with 13 kills, 5 blocks, and 4 digs. Finally, Maya Swain had 1 ace, 6 kills, 1 block, and 3 digs. Next up for Jacksonville will be the Calhoun County Volleyball Tournament that begins on Saturday. Looking at a couple other scores from last night in volleyball action. Oxford defeated Pell City in a sweep, 25-22, 25-13, and 25-12. Alexandria traveled to Plainview to take the Plainview Bears down in 4 sets. Plainview took the first set 25-18. Then it was the Valley Cubs all the way through 25-13, 25-15, and 25-10. Pleasant Valley lost to Spring Garden last night 25-18, 25-19, and 25-17 in the sweep. Donahoe swept Weaver last night 25-19, 25-9, and 25-13 on senior night. And Faith Christian also swept Woodland 25-20, 25-15, and 25-10. Staying with volleyball, big news out of the Alabama High School Athletic Association in Montgomery that will affect several local teams this volleyball postseason. The North Super Regional Championships will have a new designation this year. Executive Director Heath Harmon announced this week that the North Super Regional will be moving to Hoover's Finley Center for 2024. Previously, the Class 1A through 6A North Regional qualifiers would travel to the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, but the contract ended last year and the Alabama High School Athletic Association was unable to work out an agreement. That's it for sports. Let's head back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for that update, Jordan, and thank you for watching us today. You can find us every weeknight on Facebook and YouTube, on our website, and now on Rumble.
Go to the platform of your choice. Watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.